You're now watching a clip from the MarcWes Sports Podcast.
All right, it's the MarcWes Sports Podcast. I'm Marcus Benjamin. He's Wesley Pierre, and we give you that real sports talk from Dade County. And we had some news this week that was unfortunate from one of our boys or one of our young boys, one of our alumni or South Florida alumni out of Monarch High School, Calvin Ridley, got caught betting on games, and he was suspended by the league for a whole year. And he came out and said, he only bet $1,500. And it was when he was away from the team dealing with some personal issues. So it's not like he was actually playing. But, betting on your sport, we should know is a no-no. I mean, it's kind of obvious. And the NFL has rules in place for if this happened. I was looking at history, maybe only six or seven players in history of the NFL have gotten caught betting on games. So first off, when I heard the news, I was just like, that's unfortunate for Calvin Ridley because he's actually a really good player. It's not like he's a nobody. He's one of those up and coming receivers in the game. When Julio Jones was hurt when he was playing in Atlanta, Calvin Ridley was there picking up the slack. And he was the number one receiver this season for Atlanta. I think is a mediocre quarterback right now. Matt Ryan is. He's not the guy he used to be in the Super Bowl a few years back. So hearing the news, yeah, it's disappointing. You got to be more, it's just like other people we talk about, Wes. It's like you got to be more aware of your situation and what's affecting you as a player. But at the same time, I think they should let players bet on games. You know what I'm saying? That's my take. I feel like players should be able to bet on games if you're not involved with the game. If you are involved if you're playing, obviously not. But if you're away from the team, saying what he is good or whatever, I actually think is bad, and I'm frowning upon it. But at the same time, I feel like players should be able to bet on games that doesn't involve the team that they're playing for. If it doesn't involve the team that you're playing for, I don't see any reason why that you shouldn't be able to bet on games. But I understand the conflict of interest. You may know that one of your homeboys is hurt in said game. So you're like, okay, I'm going to put my money there. But you could probably know that in any other sport too, right? You may have friends in basketball, and you may know that, one of your friends is who's a player, main player, who's got a, injured toe like Jimmy Butler had. And that, they're not going to cover because they don't know about this injury and he's just trying to play through it. But, he's not going to be 100%. Anything like that. But, hey, the rules are the rules. And, hey, if you look back on it, Martha Stewart got put in jail for this same type of deal, for insider trading. That's basically what it is, like insider trading. She knew inside information. She was trying to make some more money, and she got caught, and she went to jail for it for a while. She got a felony charge, I believe. So yeah, I mean that for me is what came to my head. It's like, man, you got to be more aware. Calvin Ridley, come on. And at the same time, I don't feel like there should be such harsh rules against gambling, especially since gambling is like so open now. More and more states are allowing gambling. You see betting lines on the ticker on SportsCenter, and they talking about it openly. There's shows about it now. Shows on the radio, shows on TV. About who to bet on and talking about line movement and parlays and teasers and all of that. So I don't know. I think we're moving to a level where players probably going to be able to bet, but at the same time, Calvin Ridley, you got to be more aware of your situation.
Look, man, Calvin Ridley. Do I agree with you when they say when you saying players should be able to go ahead and bet on games? Yeah, no. Why? Because I mean, if you have individuals betting on games, they can actually throw games. It's like the movie Blue Chips back in the days. You feel me? When you had a player that actually, you know, missed certain shots because he was getting paid. So, I mean, if you're saying that gambling and everything's involved, what do you expect? I don't want to have no questions in my head that you had an individual possibly throwing the game. Now, I mean, if I'm betting for my team to win, then it shouldn't be a problem. You know what I'm saying? But it's when you start going ahead and betting against certain teams, like your team, then it'll be a problem. Be like, damn, why are you betting against your team? Don't you want your team to win? Is more going to be passion on that end, but once you start seeing players bet against their teams, then you know that it's some funny business around. But he was dumb as hell. Like, come on, man. You bet $1,500 on a parlay, and now you're suspended for the whole year. And I think you lost 11 million, 11.5 million, or 15 million, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Like, that was the worst actual thing that he could have actually done. Like,
that's the worst gamble he actually did.
Yeah, like come on, you won and you lost. I think he won actually. And the plain fact, he was betting against the Jaguars. It was the Atlanta Falcons versus the Jaguars. Like, why wouldn't you not be able to bet against the Jaguars, man? They trash, and they had Urban Meyer with all the turmoil and stuff going around with that organization, man. Perfect time to possibly win some money, but again, like they tell you that OTA meetings, they tell you that when you get in the league, you see what happened to Pete Rose in baseball. Like, same thing. What Marcus alluded to is kind of like insider trading with Martha Stewart back in the G. Like, come on, you got to use your head. You know what I'm saying? And then me, I'm feeling some type of way because I'm looking at background on your end, Marcus, and it for me, it's ties to the Miami Dolphins because I mean, he didn't want to be in Atlanta, and there was a possibility that he can also get traded, and what one team that possibly could have been in the mix was the Miami Dolphins because the ties with the Atlanta, the Crimson Tide to I seen something about Amari Cooper with the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm just like, damn, Amari Cooper, like they saying that they're gonna cut you. Oh shit, bring your ass over here to Dade County. Oh, Ridley, oh, you from Alabama too? You number one receiver? I know you got a little mental problem. Supposedly, you took some time off last year, but I'm just like, hey, you probably doing a Ben Simmons. I don't want to be around this trash, man. Let me just say I'm going crazy over here so I can go ahead and chill at the crib and get paid. You feel me? And use that to my advantage. Because sometimes, like, look, this is what we do as humans, man. They give us something to help us, and we abuse it. You feel me? They're using the mental illness right now. Remember, back in the day, people used to get shunned if you didn't have the not right mental health, but if you was not strong-willed and this, that, and the other, you came out and say you had a mental illness, then people don't even want to play with you. You got DeRozan, look at him, he got a mental illness and he's balling. You know what I'm saying? So it's just showing you that mental illness don't have anything to do with it. But I'm just like, damn, again, there was probably possibility that he may come to the Miami Dolphins. I don't know if it was a lot of rumbling in the air, but like I heard that and I just was like, oh, that we can upgrade. I mean, I'll trade for him. I'll give a first round pick. It's somebody that's guaranteed. Chris Greer seemed like he don't know what he's doing when he's picking wide receivers, anybody on offense. Let's go with somebody that's proven from down here. You know what I'm saying? And he has ties with Tua. You know what I'm saying? So I just was like, of course this is going to happen. Of course this is going to wash away anything that has, if it did have anything to do with the Dolphins on possibly acquiring him. I'm just like, yo. But again, dumb move, like worst gambling decision ever. Like Marcus said, it's just like, what was you thinking about? I'm like, damn, can you go ahead and say, damn, I was going through something mentally. That's why I actually betted. I was not thinking straight. can he use that as an alibi? I mean, like, I'm just like,
I'm pretty sure he could, but I don't think it's gonna hold up. I don't think it's gonna hold up. You know, in court. I mean, yeah, man. I think he just made the wrong decision. And there's been a lot of people talking about how he is not going to be in the NFL again, though. I don't think that's the case. I think he's going to play again. Why wouldn't you take a chance on a guy who just bet a parlay? Okay, I understand he just directly violated a rule that I'm sure he knew. And if he didn't know, shame on him and his agent for not informing him. But I'm pretty sure he's going to be back in the league again. Everybody needs a receiver, you know,
Exactly.
and he's going to have a year to just rest up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this game really takes a toll on your body. So he's going to have a year rested up. He was great last season. We're playing with on an average team. So like Wes said, he probably was thinking of going elsewhere anyway. Maybe coming back home like a lot of other receivers are thinking about doing. Which transitions me to another receiver. I don't know if you saw this, Wes. You probably did. But did you see that Braxton Berrios might be coming to the Dolphins?